Hello there, I am Sharky, and I'm here with a belated announcement that I will be participating in Extra Life 2018. What's Extra Life, you may very well ask if you're new to my channel within the last year, which is probably like half of you, I would say. Extra Life is a charity gaming marathon, which is pretty much like a normal charity marathon, except that I won't be running at all. I'll be sitting in this chair right here from November 3rd, 8 a.m. until November 4th, 8 a.m., live streaming video games. Pretty much. Now, the next logical question you may have would be, why exactly are you doing that? Perhaps you should not. That doesn't sound healthy. And you're not wrong, but this is for charity, so I'll be doing it to raise pledges. I will be doing this in order to raise donations for Gillette Children's Specialty Services in St. Paul, Minnesota. That's the local children's hospital. You can check out my participants page at, I believe, www.extralife.org/participants/SharkyBreath, which is, of course, the channel where you are watching this right now, in case you were confused. Please go check that out if you have any interest in checking out the details of the event, or donating for that matter. Last year we managed to raise, just a second, I gotta look it up, $1,178.50, which is pretty danged incredible, if I may say so myself. So we're hoping, I say we, I mean I'm hoping for the best this year too. Now, what can you expect to see if you tune into my live stream marathon? A valid question, and one that I don't have the best answer to, but I've got a few games in mind that will be likely to show up sooner or later. First ones that come to mind would be Celeste, Iconoclasts, Nier Automata. That's one that I've had sitting around and haven't even started, which seems kind of like a travesty. I'd still like to give The Flame and the Flood a shot at some point, and that seems like it might be appropriate for this kind of an event. I've got a couple of Switch games that I picked up that I still haven't checked out, those being Rhyme and, what was the other one? The End Is Nigh, which is another game by the same person who did Super Meat Boy and The Binding of Isaac. So that might be interesting. There's also a decent possibility that I'll bring out something I'm more familiar with, like, say, Cave Story or Spelunky. I've been feeling like revisiting Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery recently. That might show up. There's a minuscule chance, much like last year, that I may wind up doing Undertale, which is something that I've been wanting to do on the channel for a long time because I love that game. But, I mean, it's not, I usually do blind runs, and it would not be a blind run. I know that game pretty well at this point, but you never know. It might show up. Live streams are good for these things. One other thing that may be worth mentioning, if you've been watching my Hollow Knight playthrough, there's a region of it called the Hall of the Gods, which is basically a bunch of basically all the boss fights from the game in one room, and you can play through them again, and then they have a harder mode called Ascended. Someone suggested that I try Ascended mode. I might do that during the live stream. If I do, I should mention, just in case you're not able to catch the live stream, I will make sure that makes it online in some form at some point, if that happens during the live stream. I'll get it up. I had to say that, didn't I? If it doesn't happen during the live stream, I will likely try and record something like that and edit it together at some point anyway. But still, that's a thing to keep in mind. Also, with any luck, I'm hoping to have a guest on to do some local multiplayer, much like last year. In fact, the same person as last year. So if you were there last year, you know who I'm talking about. And if you weren't, well, then you better come to the stream and find out. Hadn't you? If there's something in particular you'd like to see me play, that's also valid. Please just go ahead and shoot me a suggestion. Comment in this video, or however you best feel like getting a hold of me. Whatever suits you. There are options. There's Twitter, there's Facebook, that kind of thing. One more thing I should mention, the past 2 years I've kind of had a self-imposed tradition that when I reach midnight I check and see if anybody's watching, and if anybody is, then I bring out a survival horror game. Reason being, I am comedically bad at survival horror games. I tend to lose my cool in a big way. I'll probably put up a video of 2017's example of that at some point here in the coming weeks. I don't know which game it'll be this year. I don't have something earmarked, so I'm kind of keeping an eye out there. Most of the games I've got, I've either seen, played all the way through, or otherwise fairly familiar with, but, you know, that's not always a bad thing. So yeah, please check out my page and see if that's something you'd be interested in. And if you don't have the money to donate, do not sweat it. I would still, however, appreciate your support in spreading the word. You can either share this video here or the Extra Life page that I've got in the description. And when it comes down to game day, November 3rd, if you would at some point stop by and visit the live stream, that would be great. Because it turns out that playing video games for 25 hours straight, yes, that's 25 hours straight. This is daylight saving time ending, so there's 2 a.m.s that happen, and you feel the second one, let me tell you. When you're trying to play video games for 25 hours in the same position, all the support you can get helps. So yeah, stop by and say hi. I guarantee I would appreciate it. So please hit me up with any questions or concerns you may have about this whole thing. And hopefully I will see you on game day.